Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. Yeah, take that up voice. We are going to get into this episode with 6 tattoo business tips I wish I had when I first started. This is part 1. There will be a part 2. I got really in depth with this one. But before we get started, a few things on the roster. That's me pretending to sound like my boyfriend. On the roster, 1, my tattoo apprenticeship program will be closing in just a few days on January 16th. If you have been a selectin' on that application, you better get that done right meow. This is my program of a $250,000 value, and that basically crammed into a 16-month program you get to spend with me, learning how to basically create a $100,000 business through your art, through your transformative art, through the thing that heals people for life to come, to basically take your business and take your art to a new level. And I find tattooing so sacred. And so the fact that we can also be very spiritual and wealthy in a business makes me so fucking happy. And so I'm so happy to be providing this program. I'm so excited to be helping 3 amazing artists come into this space and really seeing them through to a whole life change, you know what I mean? Because this is what's going to happen when you become a tattoo artist. It's a life-changing experience, and I'm sure all you tattoo artists that have done this and have put yourself out there know exactly what I'm talking about. So you only have a few days left of that. Just wanted to make mention that. But to my tattoo artists out there now, I have a new program out, and this thing so far right now, as far as I'm concerned, is about a 2-week immersion. It is called Booked Out. It is my ultimate money-making program for tattoo artists. Basically all the things around launching, storytelling for the highest conversion, how we make early bird, waitlist, things like this, how I created a launch. Well, basically my launch around how I've made $20,000 in 24 hours. So I'm going to give you all the deets. I'm going to give you the money mindset for how I go into my launches, how to be really chill and surrender through these launches. This is going to be a crazy good program, practically the value of this program is $2,500, but for those that get on the wait list early, we'll get a cheeky little discount. So if you're listening to this and you're a tattoo artist and you're really trying to up-level your wealth, money, the goodness, the good, then you want to go in the show notes and check that out. Sign up for the waitlist today and make sure to keep me off the junk mail list so that you can get that email and get that cheeky, awesome discount when that comes out, because that's a surprise. It'll be out in the next few weeks. But anyway, this podcast episode. Now, I have spoke about these tattoo business tips, but we are going in depth with it. And I only got to 3 this time because it was so in depth with the first 3 tips that the next 3 are just going to be just as juicy. But listen to this. Let me know if you love it. Share it on your stories. Comment, DM me. Let me know how much if it inspired you. Please share it with someone. All this goodness. The reason why I love doing this is because I love knowing that I've helped at least one person, get an aha moment. So I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope you love this episode. Welcome to another episode of The Mind of Reese. Today, we're going to get into 6 tattoo business tips I wish I had when I first started. And now, if you've read my really popular post I have on Instagram, this will be a more in-depth version of that. It will also, it's also, since I created that post probably, maybe 6 to 7 months ago, I am doing it from a completely different space. A person who has earned over $500,000, my brand is worth over $500,000, made over $500,000 last year. And so this is just my insight to this, going more in depth, and coming from a person that has had about $90,000 worth of mentorship in 1 year and, continues to up level in her leadership and her growth, and continues to seek out in the quantum what it is that I want to feel, so that I can give myself a taste of what my future is going to be like in the future, and what my future is going to be like in the future, what my future is going to be like. And so the reason, and what I mean by that is, before we get into the 6 tattoo business tips, which I'm hoping we'll get through all 6, but if not, I'll make a second episode for this. But what I mean by that is that when you are living a spirit-led life and creating a spiritually led business, we do no longer adhere to the old paradigm way of thinking of cause and effect, of the materialistic world, of the materialist mentality. We are no longer looking at life that in the condition, and once I get this thing, I will finally feel this way. As a spirit-led and entrepreneur, I believe, and we believe as a collective, that we believe in the new paradigm, new earth way of thinking of the cause with effect. And so I am causing myself to feel the things that I want to feel for my future, such as abundance, freedom, love, happiness. I choose to feel those things now. I choose to take time out of my day through meditation to cultivate those feelings now, to think a thought, to create a thought that I see in my future, what I would like to see within my future, all the things I believe that I want to achieve, and all those things. Like, as you can tell, I'm already smiling when I'm talking about it. It's just like, ooh, it lights me up. I'm cultivating that thought, which creates the feeling of freedom, abundance, and wealth, and love, and happiness, and joy. And I'm cultivating this feeling, and I'm creating this feeling to live by, basically. And I'm not saying that it's like fake it till you make it. It's more like, who do I want to be? If my thoughts and my feelings create my reality, what is the reality that I truly want to create? And so when we get into this aspect of it, it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to be doing things based on my past, which is thinking and feeling in my past ways, expecting experiences to happen in similar ways, like thinking of the what if it doesn't work, and instead I'm choosing to think, well, what if it does work, and what if it's on its way, and how would I act if I knew that all that I desire was on its way? And so for me, I cultivate this feeling every morning through meditation. Even if it's just for an hour, I tell myself that I'm going to sit here and love myself until I love myself, so much so that I lose track of time and space. And when I do that, that's when I enter the quantum, and that's why I consider it quantum wealth, quantum success, and quantum crumbling too. When we have our moments of like doubt, and we're moving through the river of the unknown, and we're really just like trying to, who are we being in the void between where I am and where it is I want to be? Who am I acting as when, I'm thinking things aren't working out in my way? And when I do think that, can I be aware enough to know that that's just a thought that I don't need to believe? Because at the end of the day, and in hindsight, normally we look back and we're like, I am so glad it happened that way, or I am so glad that happened, and oh my gosh, it couldn't have happened better, and I wouldn't change a thing for the world, and la 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 la. So this is new paradigm, new earth, tattoopreneur shit. Okay, so let's get into it. 6 tattoo business tips I wish I had when I first started my business. Number 1, so I have my notes here, is to find my tattoo style. Now, this one gets to people, and I feel like more people are starting to come around and realize that, oh, you should be able to do all the styles, and this and that. And I'm not discounting that. I know how to do most styles. Tattoo technique work, once you get the technique down, for sure, you probably could handle most styles, for sure, okay? And I'm not saying don't learn all of them, but strategically, now the strategy behind this is that when we focus on a certain style, you get inspired by your own excitement. So when you're focusing on something that you're really passionate about, you actually get excited by the thing that you're creating, which really causes you to want to grow within that style, to get better at it, to become the known, the expert in that style. And so when we think about niching down, we're not niching down to do this particular style forever, because your soul loves adventure. Okay? Your soul falls asleep to the mundane and the repetitive. Your ego loves the mundane and repetitive because it's comfy and we know how to be there. But your soul likes adventure, but your soul also loves intentionality and being in the moment and knowing that the magic is in the moment. And so the way we can look at this is, if I focus on one style, continue to grow and learn and evolve in the techniques and application and innovative design work in this style, makes me an expert in this style, I can actually grow, shift, and evolve into other styles that light me the fuck up. Now, you have to ask yourself the reason why you want to do all the styles. Oh, I can't make a choice. Let me tell you something about choices. We are going to have elevated conversations from now on, my friends. If you've been listening to this for a very long time, there is no way I'm going to be treating you like a baby. Okay? So this is an elevated conversation we're about to have. If you have uncertainty, that again is within your comfort zone. If you are completely believing in the fact that you are uncertain, that is your ego trying to keep you in your comfort zone. Because what you're basically saying is that I don't know myself well enough to know what it is that I want and what it is the universe is calling to me, when all of that is innate within you. The passion that you have for art, for whatever it is that you do, that's a unique passion. You just had that out of nowhere. Where did you get that? That's your soul talking. The niche that you're in, let's say you are a tattoo artist and you're like, I'm a realistic artist. I have a passion for this. I love all the styles, but this is the one I want to focus on. That's your soul talking. My soul said, I was tamping down the connection to my intuition and to the universe by letting my ego take the driver's seat. And so in the beginning of my career, and what everybody else was telling me what to do all the styles, make the most money, da-da-da-da-da. Now, whenever I have told an apprentice of mine to stick to one style, they have actually made more money and they've been happier and are booked out at a shorter period of time. Now, people believe that they're in this business for like months. I'm like, what are you thinking? You're in this business for a lifetime. If you're trying to fast track your way into making more money, you're actually slowing yourself down and going the roundabout roller coaster way than the universe is actually trying to show you. The universe wants to show you the very straight and narrow way on how to get something, but you get in your own way by thinking, oh, I need to make more money. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Instead of believing in yourself, trusting in your intuition, knowing which direction you need to go, even when it's scary, even when you're like, oh, fuck, I'm not making any money right now. Holy shit, how do I walk myself through this? And honestly, if you really want a solution, there is a solution out there. You want to spend $90,000 on mentorship? There's a solution for that. If you feel like you don't have the money for something, there's a solution for that. If you feel like you can't do this or that, or you don't have the ability, there is a solution for it. Trust me. I mean, I'm talking even with people that are missing limbs, who have diseases. They have found solutions to do the things that they love doing. So there is no way that if you're listening to this and then healthy, that there isn't a solution. Because when you say there isn't a solution, all you're doing is putting up the blockades and saying, yeah, my ego wants to keep me safe. I want to stay comfortable. Let me put up the blockades and not even be able to see the opportunities that allow me to see that this is actually something that could happen, that there is a solution out there. I'm actually blocking myself from solution when I say that I can't, I don't know how, there's no way, I don't have a solution, all these kinds of things. When you say, well, I wonder if I could, what could that look like? Can I go into the quantum realm? Can I go into my imaginative brain? Can I go into my imagination? The thing that I actually cultivate all the time. Your imagination, your creativity is not yours. You are a conduit for the creativity that your soul wants to provide you. Again, that is your soul speaking. But when you cut off that creative vibe from your soul, of course it's going to be harder. Of course it's going to feel like longer. And of course, maybe you might make a lot of money at the very beginning, but you are completely unfulfilled. And then you have to realize that you're like, wow, I really did like this only style, but now I'm known as the guy that does everything. And I don't know how to get out of that because my clients are like, what the fuck? Now we got to start all over, right? So we're actually making it longer when we choose to do all of the styles for the reason of I've got to make money. Now, again, I have a lot of clients, VIP clients, Inspired Academy students, that we talk about how to move through this. And this is leadership. This is leadership. If you're hurting for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, like that's rough for sure. It's rough for sure. But there is a solution. You're not a victim. This is an elevated conversation. So if I'm hurting your feelings and you're like, well, Reese, like, I honestly don't know what else to do. Like, I live in a small town. Go listen to my podcast episode about living in small towns and how that could affect your business. Or Reese, like, so where is your time and energy going? Like, if I lived in a small town, I would never believe that because I live in a small town. Most of my clients aren't even from here. My clients come from all over the world. Farthest is Australia. I get people from Costa Rica, sometimes from Brazil, Europe, Ireland. I got people flying all over the world to come get tattooed. Why? Because I focused on one style for a very long time. And it took me 7 years to really understand this. Please do not take 7 years of your life to understand this. My ego led everything up until 7 years. Honestly, up until 8. I would say like 8 years. My 9th and 10th year, and now I'm on my 11th year. I am like on a whole other trajectory. That is the reason why when I started making like 6 figures, it stayed at 6 figures. And then all of a sudden in 2021, when I really, really buckled down, stuck to the thing, 2017, 2018, I really buckled down, stayed with like realism, really, really tried to like hone in on like, I want realism with some geometry and watercolor. This is what I'm going to stick with. This is what I'm going to design. I'm not going to take anything else. Yes, did I lose a little bit of money during that time? Fuck yeah, that freaked me out. But I knew I held a vision and I kept going. And then, 2021 happens. I'm like, holy shit, I made over $300,000. And then in 2022 happens, and now I'm $500,000 brand. Like, so, and I work only 3 days a week doing exactly what I love. People all over the world, charge $300 an hour, all this kind of stuff for now. And so this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's that, like, I'm not something special. I just work. Yes, I put my fucking blood, sweat, and tears into the thing. I work really, really hard, but I knew where to put my energy. My energy went into my style. The energy I was doing that set my soul on fire, which meant that I was producing beautiful work and beautiful experiences for my client. You become a vibrational match to the clients that love your work because you emit abundant energy when you're doing the thing you love. When I'm not doing the tattoo style that I don't love, but I'm only doing it for money, I am only going to be calling in the clients that resonate with that vibe. And that's the reason why they will haggle me for my prices. And that's the reason why they will haggle me and give me shit for how much I'm charging, or that they should charge lower, or that the guy down the street charges something cheaper. Of course I'm going to get that. And of course I'm going to take these people on because my mindset isn't on the abundant aspect. So there is an energy around it. So becoming a spiritual tattooer, a spiritual leader, it takes a lot of effort. This is not for the faint of heart. I'm not telling you this because this is some easy route. I am offering you advice onto a path that could be even though there's resistance, by the end of it, there is quantum leaping. That is the reason why I went from making a deposit day, it would be a whole week before I could fill my whole books for 2-3 months. And now it takes less than 24 hours. And I've raised my prices twice. And I charge more for my deposits now. Now I get 0 cancellations, 0. I haven't not had one. in probably like almost a year. Yeah. And if I did, I think it's probably one of my regs. They take advantage, but I love them. And that's okay. And so this is where it's at. When you have elevated conversations with yourself, you ask yourself the questions, what is it that I'm really doing? Am I actually confused by which style I want? No, I'm not confused. I'm just choosing not to do this style because I'm afraid. I'm fearful. I'm afraid of something. I'm afraid of not making money. I'm afraid of people not wanting to come to me. I'm afraid. Hey, and when you admit that, that's okay. There's no shame in that, bro. There's no shame. But it's the first step is admitting. It's just being radically honest with yourself. And when we can be radically honest with ourselves, then we begin to get to know ourselves on a deeper level. And then we can start to take action from that space of authenticity. Okay? So strategically, it's really smart to stick to one style, not only for how long it could potentially take you to make some money, because a lot of times, a lot of artists, get really scared to turn people down and not make money. But how about a solution? What's the solution here? I could think of like 10, but let me just give you one. Yeah, you're a beginning artist and you're taking walk-ins and someone wants this off Pinterest and you're like, hey, would you mind if I just put it in my style, drew it for you in my style, and if you don't like it, then we can go with your Pinterest idea? Perfect. Oftentimes, when you act as though you are the leader, you are the expert in your industry, and don't shy away from the fact that you do know what you're doing. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. If you didn't actually believe that, then you can move into the space of leadership and guide your client into, hey, I know what's best because I am looking out for your best interest. That is my goal. That is my soul's mission, to look out for your best interest, to give you the type of artwork that nobody else in this world has because it's coming from my authenticity and my ingenuity. And I want to offer you this, something special. I want to offer you this special thing. And you can even offer a special deal. Make a little less money to make more faster in the long run. That is the strategy. And energetically, you will be so happy by continuing on in this, by seeing the vision, by feeling what your future feels like, by feeling what your future tastes like, by choosing to be in your authentic self, by choosing to be on the path that the universe wants you on. The universe and your desires all want the same thing for you. The same things that you want. You're just getting in your own way by overthinking it, by trying to stay in your comfort zone. But let's think about this. You're a tattoo artist. Like, you chose to be here instead of Starbucks. You chose to be here instead of working at Starbucks. Like, that is crazy. Instead of a job that you're going to get paid at X amount of dollars, yeah, it might not be your favorite thing in the whole entire world, but you didn't come into tattooing to play small. Okay, so don't start off by playing small. And then if you end up having to do that Pinterest tattoo because, you have a boss that's like, you do anything that walks in that door, blah, 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 blah. I'm not that kind of boss. I told my artist, you don't do anything that walks through that door. If it's not your style, then put it onto another artist. And if that's not it, then like, how can we look at this to help this person in the best of way? Do we offer them another tattoo shop that they would think that they could get it better, somewhere better done? Like, it gets better done somewhere else, I find another artist? Or do I take on this tattoo, tell myself that, hey, this tattoo offers me another opportunity on the way toward where it is I know I want to go. So I'm going to do this tattoo to my best of my ability. I'm going to learn better line work, how to hold my machine better, completely intentional with everything that I do, the shading, everything looking so fucking crispy clean, yummy, yummy, yummy. Is that the way I'm going to look at it, or am I going to be, crybaby about it? There is leadership in any decision that you make. Just make it. Leadership lives in the yeses and the nos. There's no confusion about it. Innately, you know what style you want to do. You know. I don't want to hear this. I don't know. I like all the styles. That's your ego, baby. Get over that. Okay? So, number 2, the divine balance of the masculine and the feminine energies. Masculine being the doing, the producing, the actionable steps, and the feminine is the being and the creativity and the sensuality and the pleasure. Okay? So, this one's huge because all last year I spent my time trying to find my balance. I was over masculine, overworking, over efforting, in the previous years and first like 8-9 years of my career, over. And now I won't demonize my masculine energy. That shit got me here. I am so proud of the woman that I am. I'm so proud that I am so devoted, so disciplined, so committed into doing everything that I put my heart to. I am not a quitter. I am very confident in the fact that I can see myself through it, even when I don't see a silver lining. Even when I'm like, this shit is going to hit the fan, I'm going to follow through like I said I would. If this is how long I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I don't want to do this tattoo because now my style has changed 3 months ago, I am going to do it because I'm committed to this and I'm committed to this client. There is no shame. There's this whole thing out there in this spiritual world right now where it's like, oh, do less and things like this. No, it's not what it means. It doesn't mean I do my whole job. I actually work more than I did, but I do it all from pleasure. And then when it's done, it's done. I don't continue to think about it. I don't continue to fester about it. When I post something, it's posted. I'm done. I don't look at it. I don't do anything with it. It's done. And I truly believe that when my job is done, that I have done everything in my power in that moment, the best to my ability, and I know that my best is perfect. And that I've done everything I need to do, and I have trust and I have faith and surrender. When we get stuck in the overwork and overwhelm and burned out mentality, that is a choice. That is your choice to make, because that's a feeling. Those are just feelings, because there is an unworthiness factor there. There is a place within you that feels like you are not doing enough. And so you continue to do to the detriment of your health, to the detriment of your mental health, your physical health. I see it all the time, and it breaks my motherfucking heart. So, when we're looking at the masculine, we're seeing the masculine, we're efforting, we're loving what we're doing, we're strategizing, we're being strategic about the things. This is, yes, yummy. And then the moment it's like, I'm pushing, I'm fucking efforting, I'm hurting, then that's when the queen, the divine feminine, comes and rolls in and sensually says, my king, slow down. It's time to slow down. Let's take a rest. Remember that when we rest, we get even more creative, and that we get even more innovative, and that the strategies that we think are the best when we use our ego brain are not. And we actually get to strategize in a more easeful way by taking time to create and be with ourselves and be in the quantum. Like, being the feminine is like being in the quantum field. It's like taking time for meditation to be outside of your body and really like see the vision, see like, okay, this strategy is going to work and this is where it's going to take me. And when I think about that, I'm like, fuck, that feels so juicy. It's like a fucking orgasm. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. And when I allow myself to do that, when I allow myself to be like, I'm going to be present in this moment and be really thankful the fact that I'm going to take this time off, and I'm going to put away all the shit that I think I need to do. I am telling you right now, when I first started my journey of burnout, I felt so burnt out. I was doing like 2-a-day TikToks, one thing of Instagram. I, was creating all these programs and tattooing all the time and all this stuff. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking completely burnt out. And this year I'm doing TikToks, Instagram, YouTubes, podcasts. I'm creating programs. I'm tattooing all the time. I'm having all this stuff. I do not feel a lick of burnout. I don't even feel close because I'm leading myself in the pleasure of it. I'm leading myself in the way where I'm like, my devotion is to the service of my people and to myself. And the fact that I'm leading from that place feels so juicy and yummy. And if in my season, I believe it's in my season to slow down, to rest, to give my mind a break. And I'm trying to, and my body is trying to tell me that, and I'm just tired more, and I'm feeling all the, like there is an innate wisdom within you that will tell you when it's a lot and when it's too much. And then when it's time to go, like, let's fucking go. Did you not feel? We all felt it collectively. The consciousness felt it. The moment the first hit, the shift in consciousness of like, let's get fucking shit done, hit us all, right? It hit us all. But in December, we were like, oh, I want to hibernate and I just want to be tired. But I'm going to be really mad about that because I shouldn't be tired. I need to be doing more and blah, 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 blah. And so this is huge. This is where you get to hold both. Elevated conversation. Once again, when you find yourself efforting or wanting to effort in this world where we believe that hustling is, heroic, and burnout is heroic to the detriment of your own body, and that like, oh, you're working because you're sick, you're so amazing. Wow. It's like, wow. Your body's telling you to rest and you're not doing it. You're so great. You should win a prize for that. And I believe that. Trust me, I was there. That's more my life than this life. I've been living that life for at least 33 years practically, I'm 35 going on 36. So yeah, this new paradigm is a whole new world for me, but I believe in it and I refuse to look any other way because I've tasted it. And now I'm doing so much more. I'm actually so much more, but I'm also giving myself so much time to be in my quantum field, to be with to be with the feminine, to be with my queen. She actually helps me choose the direction I need to go so that my strategies are more sound, are really good. People think strategies, quote unquote strategies, is a to-do list. It's not a fucking to-do list. Where did we get stuck that strategy is a to-do list? It's like, okay, I gotta do this, and this to grow my Instagram. I gotta post 2 times a day, 5 days a week, because that's the only way the algorithm will work for me. Like, no. Let me shift your perspective here. Like, it's not about that. And you know what's funny is that I, as a meditation like teacher, as a meditative mentor, a person that utilizes meditation for wealth and health, like, I will tell you from first hand, quantum leaping comes because I am not doing more, because I am actually being more. And how I'm being more while still doing the YouTubes, the podcasts, the Instagrams, the TikToks. Even my assistant's doing a lot less. Like, she's like, how is it that, she asked me, like, I was telling her the other day, I was like, look at us. Like, we're doing so much more, but it feels like we're not. And it's because we're both, and and she's feeding off of me because I'm learning so much. And I'm also hiring a lot of mentors to help me understand myself so well so that I can up level, and really giving me the tools on how I up level in a quantum way, not in a let me do more so I can feel like I'm worthy of more. I want to do less and feel worthy of it all. And I'm actually not doing less. It just feels like I'm doing less because I'm doing it from pleasure. So when we have this balance of the doing and the being, it doesn't mean that you stop doing. That is bullshit. I revere my hustle mentality. I revere my discipline. I revere the part of me that says, I don't want to go for a run, but I know how good I'm going to feel about it, so I'm going to go anyway. I love that part of me. That is my masculine. That is my king. He's the one that's like, yeah, baby, you got this. And I'm like, yeah, baby, I do. I'm tired, but I do. so, this is what I mean by the balance of your divine feminine and masculine. Know and understand yourself so well to know when it's time for each, when your season is. And seasons can be a day. It could be like this morning, I just feel like I want to do something different, take a different routine, not do the same thing. And then later you're like, fuck yeah, let's go. It could literally switch within a day. It could be weeks. Do not shame yourself for either or. It's the shame that really gets in our way. We shame ourselves for not doing enough. And we shame ourselves for being, overworked, overwhelmed. But we really don't. Like, kind of kinky. A side note, kind of kinky. People are like, I'm overworked and I'm overwhelmed and oh my God, I'm burnt out. And it's like, but what you're really saying to the other people that you're complaining to is like, here, you just really want like validation. I work so hard. Someone tell me how hard I work. I work so hard. Because we can't seem to validate our goddamn selves. Trust me, I speak from experience. I know. Whenever I would tell my mother, my mom would give it to me. She'd be like, baby, you work so hard. And I did. Don't get me wrong, I did. But was I putting all my effort and work in the right places? Or was I just trying to do as many things off my to-do list so I felt productive so that I could feel worthy of the things that I want in my life? That's the question. Okay? All right. So, number 3, create an aligned marketing and content strategy. Now, I know that when I was talking about the divine masculine and feminine, we did touch upon this a little bit. A strategy is not a to-do list. Let's just be real. Don't confuse yourself by the fact that you have crossed off 20 things on your to-do list that you actually move the needle in anything in your business. That is not happening. Trust me, again, this is coming from experience. I'm not talking to you from a place that like I am making this shit up. I'm talking to you from a place that I've done it all before. 11 years, 13 years of being an entrepreneur, 11 years of being a tattoo artist. So like pretty close to getting a half my life. I'll just say that and say myself that I'm young. I'm very young. But 12, 13 years of being an entrepreneur, I have done everything under the sun that I was taught in the patriarchal societal paradigm way of the doing and the constant efforting and knowing what's working and what doesn't. And now that I am here in this space, feeling energetic as fuck, feeling so good that I took a month off last year and still made over $500,000. Like, and when I did work, I worked because I was pleasurable to me. It wasn't that I was like, I gotta work because I gotta. No, I'm like, I fucking work because it fucking lights me the fuck up. And not only that, I'm serving my community in a way that fucking pushes me toward my purpose. Like, I'm not a lazy bitch. I am not lazy. And so when I take time off, it's like, yeah, I know that for me, this is what I need. Now, you got to ask yourself the question, am I just choosing to be this way because I'm choosing my divine feminine? Don't play off that card, you know? Don't play that card. Play like, okay, am I being real? Am I being real with myself? Am I just, not choosing to do this because I am burnt out? There's a solution to everything. Okay, so now number 3. Create an aligned marketing strategy. So, what this means is that aligned strategies with your content is all about your mindset, your belief systems, your clarity, and your authenticity. Then you can build out what content works best for you and how to share your unique message and movement. When we are creating an aligned marketing strategy, marketing strategies, they are all-encompassing marketing tactic. At the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, you wear many hats. You are the one that comes up with the genuine marketing strategy, which mostly consists of content, right? And content means that we've got to put ourselves out there in a way that's going to attract the type of people we want in our space, that's going to attract the type of people that will pay what we pay our prices, that will get what we love tattooing, sit for as long as they need to, fly wherever it is to go to get it, and love it, and maybe even come back for more because they love the experience so much that you provide. This is the content you need to be creating. There's no longer a paradigm where, oh, let me just show you my tattoos. Nobody's doing that much anymore. There's a lot of pages that still have only tattoo photos, and those might be more branding, like all-encompassing, like tattoo collector, like lovers things. That's okay. That's their thing. But now, as you noticed, like if you look at, I don't know, there was one really big one back in the day on Instagram for tattoo lovers. Like people just love these tattoos and they would promote other artists and it was only tattoo page. Now you're starting to see that there's a lot of memes coming out because people like funny things about tattoos. And now you're starting to see like a lot, it's like they're playing on other aspects because they know this is what gets attention. Now, I'm not saying get attention because I used to do that. I was a alt model for a long time. I think I have like 6 covers back in the day. And so it's one of those things where that kind of attention, totally, it got me a lot of followers, but did it get me a lot of good paying clients? Not necessarily. And I did get a lot of creepers. Yeah. And so that, and with regards to how many followers you have, does not equal dollar signs. So the content you need to be creating is very authentic to you. But in order for you to understand your authenticity, you need to get clear. You need to get clear with who the fuck you are, what the fuck you do, and how you want to share that medicine with this world. And that's a scary thing. Putting yourself out there is scary. It's an unknown, it's a fear, it's scary. But you didn't come into this business to do ordinary things. That way, you would have just stayed at the coffee shop you used to work at or the corporate job you used to work at. Mine was a corporate job. I know a lot of kids that got into this business that were from Starbucks, so I'm only saying that because I've seen it. Or the waitress job that you used to have. Whatever you were doing before, you decided that you didn't want to live in the comfortable anymore because it wasn't aligned with you, and you took the very brave, fucking courageous step to do what you love for a living and bet on yourself. Remember that moment. Remember that bravery, because you are going to need that bravery for all the other decisions you are going to have to make within your life and business from here on out. It does not get easier. You still will walk through the fear. I have walked through so many things in fear. If you watch my live on IG, I talk about it, about all the fears I've ever gone through. And then all of a sudden, here I am. And in hindsight, I always look back and I'm like, fuck. And what that should remind you of, if you ever look into your past for things that you need to remind you of how amazing you are, is to remember all of the most amazing things you've ever done to get yourself here, because you've done some really wild, really fucking amazing, really holy shit, I can't believe that happened. Nobody believed in me. Everybody told me not to do it, and I did it. By becoming an entrepreneur, that's one right there. By aspiring to be an entrepreneur and searching for the ways to get it done, searching for the solution to get that done, opening yourself up to the possibilities, the opportunities that could offer it up to you, that's bravery right there. So when you go online, remember that bravery, baby, because that is what you need. Because why? Because there are a ton of tattoo artists out there. There are a ton of tattoo artists out there. And how do you stand out of a crowd? You're very clear on who you are. You have the mindset, the belief system, the holy shit, I've got myself here. I gotta be confident. I gotta walk through the river of the unknown, and I gotta put myself out there in a way that shines in my authentic way. Mindset, clarity, authenticity. These are the three things to understanding how to create an aligned marketing strategy. Those three things, once you understand that, once you get a hold of that, the content that you create that comes from your soul will invite and magnetize all the other people that align with you. But you have to believe it. You can't just put shit out there hoping that shit, because you put shit out there, you get shit back. What? Nothing, right? And you gotta continue. You gotta hold on to the divine consistency. Oh, it didn't work. How long you been doing it? For a week. Oh, well, fuck off. No, get off me. That's the reason why my 10-week, like it's like a 10-week program for Inspired Academy. We at least offer you 2 months to get your shit together, okay? My Inspired Academy program offers all of it. I specifically teach this: marketing, mindset, authenticity, clarity, attraction, conversion, automation. It's basically your foundational business course for all tattooers. This is what, if you follow it to a T and continue it and stay consistent with it, that is what's going to move the needle forward for you. But the thing is you have to believe it. Even on the days that you don't, you put it into your mind that you see it to believe it. This is how we move in quantum leaps, babe. Like, I'm not just doing shit to do shit. I'm intentional with the shit I do. And don't get me wrong. Like, I go to the quantum field every single day. What I mean by that, I mean I meditate. I get out of my body. I get into the state of being that I know I want to be in, because that's the taste of my future. The thing of wealthy, abundance, freedom, impact, service, happiness, joy, love. These feelings that I want to feel, that I think I'm going to get when I make all the money in the world, when I have all the best clients, when I do the tattoos I love doing, when I open up my own shop, when I start educating, all those feelings that I want to have, I don't wait for the thing to happen. I am no longer in that paradigm, old wave paradigm thinking of cause and effect. I am causing the effect. Okay, so I am going to give myself a taste of my own future by having the feelings and cultivating the feelings every goddamn day that I want to feel, and trying to hold on to that all day long. And how do I do that? By being present and being intentional with every step that I do. And when I do that, my decisions get better. All of a sudden, the little nudges in your body that tell you, go this way, not that way. And you're like, okay, I'll go that way. All of a sudden, you accidentally just meet someone. And then all of a sudden, it was like, oh my gosh, that person really wanted to get tattooed by me. Oh my gosh, I follow you. Thank you for posting all those things that you post. They're so inspiring. When you think nobody's listening, there's people watching. So if you're doing it from your soul and you're patient and you don't look at it on a timeline of like, this has to work today or it doesn't actually work, then you don't actually believe that it's meant to work for you. And you'll get exactly what you actually believe, which is it's not meant to work, so it's not gonna. It's a lot of what I teach in Inspired Academy. So if you are interested, show notes, you can go in the show notes and click. I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this before March of 2023, there's an early bird special. So that would be my third thing, is create an aligned marketing strategy. And the first way of doing that is your mindset, your belief systems, your clarity, and your authenticity. Then you can build out what content works best on how you share that message. Okay, but there's a lot of questions within the clarity, the authenticity, and the mindset. It's like, who are you? Who are you actually? What do you do? Yeah, you tattoo, but what style? Is that the style you love? What else do you do? Like for me, if you go online, you get a little baby bio about me and how I'm a spiritual tattoo artist. And everything within my tattoo brand is so niche now, because I'm like, well, my tattoos are healing the world. And I do tattoos based off channeling my clients through their emails or consultations so that I can give them the best art that my spirit guides and their spirit guides co-collaborated with in order to produce something three-dimensional in this three-dimensional realm of artwork that they can wear for the rest of their life, their new body adornment that transforms them and heals them of any past things and rewrites and begins a new chapter within their life. That is what my tattoos do. What do your tattoos do? So that is so niche, right? That's so niche. You're almost telling me, like, Reese, those are the people you're looking for? How do you even find those people? Oh, no, baby, they find me. Why? Because I'm so fucking authentic and genuine and so willing to put myself out there. Even when I get a lot of shit, people are like, this woo-woo dumb bitch. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. You don't know what you're talking about. This could be done easier or better or whatever. And for me, I'm just like, cool, dude. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, that's what it takes. The more you can understand that, like, you are on your own path, especially when you are in this world, that you're a way shower, you're a shaker, you're a mover, you're a fucking leader. You want to be a quantum leader, a new paradigm tattoo artist. You know, you got to do something different. Business is different in this world and people don't understand you. And the best thing about social media is that you can express yourself in a way, and in the way that's so genuine to you, that there are a billion people out there ready to just see you and be like, oh my God, I've been waiting for you. But it takes a lot of balls to do that. And it takes a lot of courage and bravery, but you've done it before. Because you've done something amazing before. So, with that being said, I will end this podcast and do the next 3 in the next podcast, because we are 47 minutes in and I don't want to make this another like hour and a half long podcast. But if this resonated with you, if it felt like, holy shit, this was like really amazing, please forward and share it along with your friends. And please, post about it on Instagram and tell me how much like you loved it in the stories. I love hearing it. It honestly, it helps me continue to do these things and to continue to learn and invest in myself so that I can come here with this juicy free content and you can get reap the benefits of all the things that I do for myself. And I put so much education and time and money and effort into that stuff because I enjoy it so much. And I enjoy coming back here and giving you my interpretation of the things that I've learned. It lights me the fuck up. So when you tell me that it lights you up, it lights me up even more. And it causes me just to want to do more. So I love you. If you are wanting to work with me in some capacity, whether that be business coaching, mentoring, whether that be energy healing, all of this good stuff, there are links in the show notes where you can see all the different ways you can to work with me. But I do want to say I love you, and there will be a part 2 of this. We'll get to the next 3 things, 3 tattoo business tips I wish I had when I first started. But until then, have a great and beautiful fucking day. Love you.